We are here today to discuss the 2007 film, Why Did I Get Married? And take a look back at some of Mike's cruelest moments to Sheila. Y'all know Mike, the one who had the nerve to bring his side chick to the marriage retreat.
I'm Heit.
And I'm Cheri.
And you've discovered Axiom Amnesia.
We want to thank all of the supporters who helped to make this video possible. If you want your name to appear alongside these contributors, make a one-time donation via Cash App, or you can head on over to patreon.com/axiomamnesia to enjoy all of the benefits of becoming a monthly subscriber. In this first horrendous treatment of Sheila moment, Mike and Sheila and Sheila's friend Trina, all three are on the plane. Sheila is told that she has to leave the plane because of her weight. And do you think Mike actually has any sympathy? Nope. He and Trina decide to take the flight together, and they make Sheila drive.
Why don't you sit over here by your husband?
No. You sit right there, all right? We got assigned seats for a reason.
Mike is sitting next to Trina, and then Sheila is seated in front of them, right?
Yeah, Mike is talking about we got assigned seating for a reason. What assigned seating is, you have 3 tickets. So then you amongst your group can decide who sits where with those 3 tickets.
Yeah, but of course he wanted to sit next to Trina. And I'm like, this is just weird. Like, who bought the tickets? How does this go? And then the fact that Sheila seems so weird and clueless. But all the while Sheila's getting on the plane, she's talking about, girl, your job is hard. You needed a vacation, and all of this and that. And then she's talking about maybe it's some single men I could hook you up with.
There might be some nice single men I could introduce you up in those mountains, girl.
And Trina is giving clues. She's just like, well, I'm happy like I am. Basically, don't be trying to hook me up with no dudes. And of course, we'll find out why she doesn't want to get hooked up as the movie progresses. The next thing that happens is we see this flight attendant come over, and basically, long story short, he tells Sheila she is going to have to purchase an extra seat or basically leave the plane because she's too big.
We have a very full flight today. Someone your size has to buy 2 seats.
And then what happens after this is her husband is completely unsympathetic.
I've been telling that big ass lose weight for months now.
They're trying to figure out what they'll do. He's like, don't look at me. I ain't buying no extra ticket or whatever like that.
I'm going to give up my seat, okay? I just won't go.
No. What good is that going to do? Then I'll be uncomfortable.
And then he's like, why don't you take the bus? Then he's like, why don't you drive?
Take the bus. That's it. Drive. There you go. I pay for the gas. And get the money back for that ticket, too.
So she's supposed to drive from wherever they live all the way up a mountain in Colorado, I think is where they're going, and do this alone. Now, Trina does try to be a semi-decent friend, because Trina is like, well, I could go with you. And he's like, nah, let her go by herself. We gonna fly.
Semi-decent?
I say semi-decent because, she is a snake. But she tries to at least pretend to want to do a friendly thing and go with her friend. And this is the question that, we have in the first place is like, why would you sit there with this man, with this woman's husband, not just this man, this woman's husband, you gonna fly with him and she's gonna drive because she supposedly is too big and can't get a ticket. And he won't purchase an extra ticket. So the other thing that we understand about the dynamic between Mike and Sheila is that Sheila doesn't apparently make money because the money is flowing through him. So he's like, I'm not buying another ticket. Yeah. So,
she doesn't have a card or nothing, a checkbook, because he has to pull out cash to give to her. But then he gives her the task of getting the money back for the plane ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but all this time, Sheila didn't say anything except when it came all the way down to the end where she's about to get off. And she says, I'll see you guys up there.
I'll see you guys up there.
See you when we see you.
Yeah, and he like, yeah, I see you. And she doesn't even really she seems a little bit more embarrassed by what happened with with this seating situation than having her eye on the radar of what's going on with her husband and this woman and what's wrong with this situation. Because trust and believe, I think ladies, comment, what if your husband had done that to you? It would be like, oh, we ain't even going on a trip. You ain't got to worry about a retreat because I'm not getting off this plane without you. We doing whatever we do together. So this whole dynamic, and I will say, you got to have a little bit of empathy for Sheila, because if he's been acting this way the whole time, then, she
Well,
is really kind of abused.
how long has she been this size?
We really don't know,
Because he said, I've been telling her big ass to lose weight for months now. So I don't know what that statement means.
Mm-hmm.
If she was this size and then you didn't say nothing for her however long, and then it's only been months, or has she just gotten this big after, a while, and then it's only been an issue for him these past months? It's just, I don't know about that phrase at all.
And in the next wild and crazy moment where Mike can't control his mouth, it happens when they are at the retreat. Sheila is talking about, hey, I can cook, how, and about her cooking. But Mike, he has to take another dig, not only at her cooking. It can't be that Sheila can cook well. No, it's got to be, we know you can cook. Again, insinuating an issue with her weight. Mike is just so trifling.
You don't know nothing about cooking.
We all know you know about cooking, baby.
Again, a dig at her weight. And I think that was directly because of the fact that she was pushing Troy off on Trina. I just wanted to jump in here to encourage you to join our free Patreon tier. Yes, we have premium paid memberships on Patreon and YouTube channel members who get exclusive content, early releases, and other perks. But we are now also offering a free Patreon membership tier where you will get videos that are not offered to the general public on YouTube. For example, we just dropped a 3.5-hour watch party for the new Luther Never Too Much documentary on our free tier, where you get to watch the full movie along with us in our commentary. If you like what you see, you can join one of our paid membership tiers later, or you can just remain as a free member with no strings attached. This free Patreon membership does not give you access to all of the paid exclusive content and early releases that our premium Patreon and YouTube channel members enjoy, but we wanted a way to offer you a better viewing experience without many of the restrictions that we have on this platform. So come on over and join us on Patreon. The link is in the description. It's easy and free to join. You can simply log in with your Google or existing social media accounts and begin enjoying Axiom Amnesia's Patreon. Now back to the show. So in what was probably one of the cruelest moments in the entire film, the ladies have been out and they have gone shopping. And so while they're out shopping, Sheila's quote friend, Trina, encourages her to get this negligee. And she's like, Michael like you in this negligee and everything like that. And, Sheila is already feeling bad about her marriage, bad about how Mike feels about her physical appearance, and is comparing herself, I'm sure, in her own mind to Trina and all of these other beautiful women, and feels bad about her weight. So Trina encourages her to get this negligee and is like, yeah, put this on for Mike. Oh my gosh, this makes Trina such a freaking just horrible dog of a human being to even do this, because it just exacerbated, because this was the setup. Trina knew, she had to know, because she knows Mike, how Mike was going to respond to this. So it just was terrible. And of course, knowing that Trina is actually getting it on with Mike all the while.
Hey.
The hell are you going on?
So in the next scene, we see Sheila come in a very nice and modest night gown and robe set. Looks very pretty and complimentary to her figure. And first thing Mike says is, what the hell you got on? And so she comes over, sits on the side of the bed, and is like, Trina said you might like it.
Trina said you might like it.
And then he literally laughs in her face.
Trina lied.
And while he's laughing in her face, she's telling him, I want us to work.
Mike, I want us to work.
I love you. I've always loved you.
I love you. I've always loved you.
What do I have to do to make it work?
What do I have to do to make it work?
And then he continues with his cruelness, and he's like, well, first thing you can do is lose about 50 pounds, and then I might be attracted to you and whatever like that. But
You could lose about 50 pounds. Then I might be somewhat attracted to you.
cut off the light. And, so any idea that she had of being able to
Save her marriage.
yeah, is just smashed. It's totally smashed. I mean,
Look like the cow that jumped over the moon.
and just, this is like one of the saddest scenes in the movie.
Half of me is left.
with the whole she's not ready and all of that stuff, and some people don't want to know, which is worse? Just if before this she found out what's going on, or this dude continuing to treat her like this.
Yeah. I just feel like somebody could have pulled her to the side and said, hey, listen, this is hard to hear and this ain't the most opportune time, but we found out he's been sleeping with Trina, and it didn't have to happen the way we're about to see come up. But like, there's the point where you just got to rip the Band-Aid off.
But when she told him that Trina said that he would like it, he said, Trina set you up. You need to smack Trina. And
Trina set you up. You need to smack Trina.
You don't have to apply that to this specific situation. Because this is your friend who wanted to come spend time with your husband on y'all couples retreat.
That should have been your clue. She set you up. So that's one answer, one possible answer to the question I had. Was Trina being sincere, or was Trina setting her up? Go to the comments. Was Trina setting her up? Was Mike right about this? Or, is he just, his mouth is flippant? We know Trina's not her real friend, of course. But the point is, was she actually setting her up in this moment? I just think it's just incredibly sad. And then she just lays in the bed and is just looking so hurt and, everything like that. And they're laying back to back. Mike is just there. She's just there. And I don't even know how she went to sleep how are you in the same room with this guy? How? So in what is quite possibly the most explosive dinner scene, everybody's around the table and tensions are getting high, and finally it all just explodes. And we get to see what type of B, y'all know what I mean, that Mike really is, because he starts spewing out everybody's secrets at the table, and ultimately it winds up with things being exposed and the fact that he admits having an affair with Trina right there at the table in front of everybody. How embarrassing. Like, he had absolutely no respect for his marriage in any sort of way, but not even the common decency to try to tell her at some other point. Why would he bring his side chick on the trip to begin with? Like, he could have just wrapped up one situation and started with Trina if that was what he was going to do. But like, how this got handled was just, oh man, Tyler Perry knew how to write an explosive scene.
So Mike can tell us why Trina can't go with Troy.
So then it just comes out and Angela tells it all.
Okay. Let's do it.
And it's like, hey, the reason that these single people can't go out together is because she's sleeping with your husband.
The reason she can't go with this man or any other man is because she's sleeping with yours, Sheila.
And Trina had, Sheila's just like, what?
What?
And Trina got a dumb face on. And then Troy is trying to make his exit. He's like, all right, y'all, I just think I just need to get on up out of here.
Well, you all, thanks for dinner, but I should be going.
And then we have Terry with a little light in the mood, like, no, I think we're going to need you, because he's the sheriff.
We're going to need some law enforcement around these parts after this all breaks out.
I think you need to stay, man. We're going to need some law enforcement around here.
But in this moment, Sheila looks very shocked and surprised and caught off guard.
No.
Yeah, Sheila.
Back to the question of, does Sheila already know about Mike and Trina? I tend to say no. She knows things are very wrong in her marriage.
Okay?
No, let him talk. I may be a little drunk, but somebody at this table got some damn secrets.
I don't know
But
if she
I
knows
don't
exactly,
know.
but if you do, then it's that it hasn't just been blatantly put out there, right? So you can be in denial.
Look, if I suspected, I'm not certainly having her on my trip to, be the marriage retreat trip.
She is very naive. She's doing it to keep her husband happy, right? Because she was like, Trina said this. She know that he how he feels about Trina, right? Because why would she be like, Trina said this? Or if Trina said it, because she knows what he desires. But yeah, so that happened. And then she asked, is it true?
Is it true?
Yeah, it's true.
And Mike didn't deny it at all. He just said, yes, it's true. That's my secret. I'm the bad guy.
That's my secret. I'm the bad guy.
So now that Mike's cat is out of the bag and his relationship has exploded, and of course he blames Angela for his relationship being exploded when in fact he should blame himself. He did everything but just tell that he was sleeping with this woman, right? Angela is the friend, the good friend, the real friend, the one who finally has enough mercy to say, hey, we got to stop this. Angela tells what's going on. But then Mike decides, hey, if my relationship is imploding, so is everyone else's. And he proceeds to go around and tell the personal secrets of everybody at the table. And after everybody else is in shambles, then Mike turns back to Sheila and he's giving her the terms of their separation. He says, hey, I want a divorce. And I'm also finna bounce with your friend and my side chick, Trina.
It's over. I'll be more than fair, but I want a divorce.
He's telling her, first thing he says is, it's over.
You can have the rental property.
You know, and he just is laying down. So clearly he's thought about it. You know, you can have the rental property. I'm going to have Paco put bars on it.
I have Paco put bars on it for you, so don't thank me or nothing. It's a rough neighborhood.
So like it's a bad neighborhood. So I'm going to move you from wherever you live now, which is nice and safe, to this bad neighborhood. Don't forget, I'm doing you a favor. You ain't got to thank me or nothing, he says. You can have your car. I'll figure everything else out and whatnot. She is just like in a trance, in a daze. And, he even snaps his finger in front of her face because she's not responding to him.
Whatever.
And then he's like, all right, well, whatever. And then she just turned and busts a bottle right over his head.
Oh, I hope he's dead.
And the bottle broke pretty easily, and he was just left unconscious.
Yep. And she walks out the door. And then you hear the old Negro spiritual hum. Do you think that Sheila really knew about Mike and Trina already? I just say no, because she just, what is this reaction to then? Is it the embarrassment?
It's the embarrassment, but like I say, you could be in denial until it's just put up on a fucking platter like that. But yeah, I don't think that she would have known, because it probably was, hey, this is just my friend. But once they went together on a plane like that, then you should know. Oh, he made you drive, and then your friend stayed on a plane to go on this trip.
Yeah.
Without you.
After Sheila leaves the cabin and goes to the local hotel, she cries and she prays and she cries some more. And who comes but Sheriff Troy? He comes to check on her because he's seen all that has happened. But this also sparks a friendship, and he invites her to stay there in the mountains with him because he just feels so sorry for her situation. And all of this time, Sheila is really mourning the loss of her marriage. But she picks herself up and she moves on to bigger and better. And in the process of this moving on, she realizes that her Boaz was there at that cabin the whole time. And as we know, Sheila got the love that she wanted and was deserving of with Sheriff Troy, rather than being with somebody like Mike who didn't appreciate her at all. Really, the best thing Mike could have done for her was walked out the door, even though it was probably the most painful thing that Sheila had ever experienced. And so Sheila and Sheriff Troy live happily ever after, at least until Why Did I Get Married 2, when Mike brings even more troubles their way. Sheila was just the kind of person who didn't know her worth. And this story that Tyler Perry told really is one of my favorites, because there was this happy on the other side of all of the pain that Sheila had experienced. And I guess there's this redemptive quality that is told in their particular story in this film. If you enjoyed this look back at Mike's cruelest moments, you should know that we have at least 10 videos in our Why Did I Get Married and its sequel, Why Did I Get Married? You should know that we have at least 10 videos in our series on Why Did I Get Married and its sequel, Why Did I Get Married 2, on this channel.
If you made it this far into this video, start your comment with in denial so that we'll know you're one of the real ones who watched this video to the end.
Thank you so much for sticking around, and be sure to check out one of the videos that's on the screen right now.